On January 24th, 2023, the world was taken by storm when our beloved publisher, Square Enix, dropped a bomb of a game titled Forspoken. It was seemingly overnight that this title went from fascinating to dead in the water due to its brash main character, ridiculous PC requirements, and poor optimization all around. Whether it was due to the magnifying glass of releases due to the pandemic, or higher expectations from a billion-dollar company like Square Enix to produce polished AAA products, to say Forspoken was spit on at the time is quite an understatement. But that was then, and this is now. It's been over 2 years since its original release, and with that have come various patches, quality of life updates, and some optimization. So with that being said, I want you to join me on my adventure through Forspoken to answer the most important question of all. Was Forspoken really that bad? To properly answer that question and more, I will be assessing the gameplay, the story, exploration, and its overall replayability, so...
There are so many of them. They came so fast.
This destruction is because of you, demon.
The Tantas were fucking this place up long before I got here.
Starting with the gameplay, I found the best way to describe it is magic with parkour. If you have happened to play Sunset Overdrive, then think of that, but instead of guns, you use magic, and that, people, is the gist of it. But no, seriously, with magic being the theme of the game, Frey gets an arsenal of it. Her spells range from machine gun flowers to maelstroms and even flame whips for vertical mobility. As the player progresses through the story, additional spell trees are unlocked, which can be utilized in and out of battle to pull off some wicked combos or tactical movements. Sounds good, right? Well, there is some good and some bad. The good part is the challenges that come with the new skill set, aka learning how the spells operate, their best distance for use, and applicability. The bad part is that after you power them up through challenges located in every rest area, it all just blends together even if you play the game on hard, as Frey becomes too powerful. I found this to be a big overarching problem, especially when facing the Tantas, as Frey has the world at her fingertips, like literally. With so much magic to cycle through, it's no wonder they get blasted in record time, even if they can resist certain elements. Maybe it was just me, but I found the overall gameplay loop to be a bit lackluster after the new spell hype died down, and I am 100% sure it was due to the enemies. They all seem to have one or maybe two annoying attacks that they rinse and repeat. For the more challenging enemies, well, they will almost one-shot you if you get too close. But why would you when the game doesn't reward you for being aggressive? While I do understand what the developers were going for, just like with Frey's movement abilities, it's not as satisfying as it could be, but more on that later. For now, let's move on to the story. Bottom line up front, it's awful, like no cap. Contrary to what some may think, no, it is not because of Frey's edgy attitude. It begins with Frey in the real world getting into some trouble and swiftly being whisked away into Athia. Here she learns that she is immune to the break, which is a disease affecting that world, and also has powers that only the Tantas have. The 4 Tantas, who are all female, were once rulers of Athia, but ended up losing their minds, which is explained in the story. So the journey focuses on Frey and Cuff as they take down the Tantas, and also try to uncover the truth of who Frey truly is, as she was abandoned by her parents in the real world. There is a twist in there near the latter half of the game, but it's not as impactful as it could be, as it's with a character you already aren't fond of. On paper, this sounds okay, but in reality, its execution is a slam dunk into the trash can, as the pacing of it all is like sprinting into a wall over and over again. The beginning of it starts slowly, and then the first Tanta is introduced. The next time word is brought up about said Tanta is when you're throwing down at the playground with her. She dies, you get more powers, and then bam, it's back to town, and then a new Tanta. Rinse and repeat with some interaction with the townspeople now and then, and roll credits. There's no gradual build-up, it's all gas or all brakes. This makes it hard for me to invest in the story when it feels so fragmented. Voice acting wise, there are only 2 characters of note. The first is Frey herself, who is voiced by Ella Balenska.
What the hell is that?
It appears to be a person under that getup.
No shit, Sherlock.
We need to know who he is.
There's only one way to find out. Okay, Mr. Axe Murderer. I'm gonna come towards you and take off your mask. You're gonna be cool or uncool?
A common complaint I see for this game is the dialogue and how it's just bad. Bad is the wrong word though. It is more so just misguided. What Frey and Cuff needed was a third member who was capable of showing their true range of emotions. Someone else to bounce ideas and jokes off of instead of this toxic game of tennis between them. I felt like she did a good job with what was given, and it shows here and there as the game progresses. It was just that what was given never evolved. Cuff is voiced by Jonathan Bake.
Oh, look at these people celebrating our victory.
Ah, you're just jealous they don't know who you are.
Well, I did play a vital role in your much-vaunted triumph, you know.
Huh, I guess you're right. Well, I appreciate you, Cuff. Thanks. I couldn't have done it without you.
Could this be? Are we becoming friends?
As I stated before, Frey, it is not that Jonathan Bake is a bad voice actor. It is the lack of material in the story that makes his performance lukewarm. Cuff is not given much opportunity to grow on the player outside of being a nagging motherfucker. But this is one man's opinion, so don't come for me. Anyway, with the story out of the way, let's talk about its exploration. Across the wonderful world of Athia are abandoned buildings with puzzles, loot, books, and monsters. Exploration is fun at first, especially when you unlock more movement for Frey, but with less than 10 hours into the game, I had already begun to feel burnt out on it due to the lack of variety. The puzzles range from easy to hard, but are always about connecting one end to the other. The loot is just for extending material and item capacity. The books are about lore, and the monsters are just the same handful of enemies over and over again outside of the mutants. But what I found the oddest about exploration in this game is a lack of focus on the very movement used to traverse through it. There are plenty of time attack battles, but none whatsoever focused on platforming. On occasion, you will run into statues that are floating in the sky, so some movement skills are needed, but that's the gist of it. They should have utilized Frey's movement skills more, as it would have helped in breaking up the monotony of the game. Last but not least, let's talk about its overall replayability. When it comes to me, picking up a game again is dependent on the two things that Forspoken falls short on, which is both the gameplay and the story. The spells are cool gameplay wise, but it is just not a satisfying system to me outside of the challenges to improve their damage. The mutant fights aren't fun, nor are the bosses. And don't get me started on the side quests known as detours. They feel so forced and uninspired.
Okay, can you fucking let it go already?
What? But for context here, according to my in-game time, it took me 28 hours and 20 minutes to beat it on hard. So I have been around the block before I made my judgment. For now, I do not see myself coming back to this title for any reason, as both the gameplay and the story which I just covered don't really resonate with me. With all of that being said though, it is now time to answer the most important question of all. Was Forspoken really that bad? Bad? At its release price of $70 USD? Yes.
This is awful. This is fucking awful.
I would be pissed if I bought it at full price, as there's nothing within this product to justify that price point other than it being published by Square Enix. But for the $22 I spent on it for science, I'm okay with it. Often we try to attach hours played to the value of a product, but for me there's a certain threshold of emotion, whether it's good or bad, that also goes into it. The gameplay alone is not enough to carry this game to the finish line, as it feels like it's missing an ingredient. Story-wise, it suffers from poor pacing and a plot twist with someone you already don't care about. I am not saying that this game was as bad as people made it out to be. It is more so that it just feels 10 years too late in its release. But I have said enough here, so Forspoken, please take it away.
Did I just do that?
Well, definitely with my assistance.
I did not just do that.
We did.
I just moved shit with my mind.
Perhaps our connection has somehow awoken some abilities.
I just moved shit with my mind.
I just keep hearing I.
I just moved shit with my freaking mind!